Okay, good afternoon all. Please type your attendance. Okay, so in this class we have started our new lesson. That is our 7th lesson, which is congruence of plane figures. Sorry, congruence of triangles. In our previous class, we have learned about some properties of triangles, isn't it? Pythagoras property, exterior angle property, and how to decide or how to predict the pairs being as the sides of a triangle and so on, and their median and so on. So in this chapter, we have just continues about triangles. That is congruence of triangle. We are discussing about congruence of triangle. Did you know what is congruence? What is congruence?
The
Do you have any idea?
The relation of two objects being congruent is called congruence.
Okay, you just say what you learned. It is this means. Can you see two figures here? These are two figures, and both these are in the shape of rectangle, isn't it? This is a big rectangle and this is a small rectangle. And when we place one over the other, what happens? It is not exactly covering the second plane, isn't it? Okay, then while I am using this textbook and this, what happens? This is exactly covers the second, isn't it? And that's why it is known as congruent, because it has the same length and same width. This is a plane having or rectangle having same length and same width, and so they are known as congruent. And as in your case, all your textbooks are congruent, because all your math textbook are congruent, because all of the textbook having same weight, same length, same thickness and so on, and same width and so on, and same number of pages and so on. That's why they are congruent. So the simpler meaning of congruent is identical itself. Congruent means identical itself. That is, when we place one over other, the one will exactly cover the others. As our ants. When we place one over the other, one will exactly cover the other. So these two are congruent. This is the simple definition of congruent. That is, the relation of two objects being congruent is called congruence. The relation of objects being congruent is called congruence. ഞാൻ പറയുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ നിങ്ങൾ ടെക്സ്റ്റ് ബുക്കിൽ ഒന്ന് മാർക്ക് ചെയ്ത് വെക്കണേ, എന്നിട്ട് അത് നോട്ട്ബുക്കിലേക്ക് പകർത്തി എഴുതുക. So first one, the relation of two objects being congruent is called congruence. You just underline using a pencil, and after the class you just write it in your notebook. Okay, first one is the relation of two objects being congruent is called congruence. In page number 134 at the top, 134. Okay, and after that we are going to discuss about congruence of plane figures. What do you mean by a plane or plane figures? They are two-dimensional figures, means plane figures. And can you see figure 7.3 in your textbook? There are two plane figures given for you, that is F1 and F2. These are two plane figures given for us. Can you see it? In page number 134, figure 7.3. So, what is speciality of F1 and F2? Is they identical? Is they identical or twin? Can you understand any twinning? We can see that when you measure the lengths using a scale, you can see the lengths are very same. That's why they are identical to each other, and we can say that they are congruent. That is, F1 and the F2 are being congruent. So after writing the congruence definition, you just write the heading congruence of plane figures. You just write the heading congruence of plane figures, and after that you just draw the figures F1 and F2. Okay, did you get the idea of writing notes? And after that we can say that since F1 covers each other, sorry, F1 cover each other completely, they are congruent. F1 and F2 are congruent. And you can see the symbol of congruence. Can you see it? That is F1 is congruent to F2. Here it is a symbol given in your textbook. Here it is a symbol given in your textbook. That means congruence. That is an equal to sign and then NS shaped curve. That is known as the congruence curve. Sorry, congruence symbol. I just showed this thing. Congruence. So this is the congruent symbol. Okay. Since F1 and F2 are congruent, we just say that F1 is congruent to F2. Okay. So this is the congruent symbol.
Miss, അത് read ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ തന്നെ പറയാ.
Okay. Who is Rehan?
മിസ് അത് വേറെ ഫോണിൽ അറിയാതാണ് ഞാൻ
എന്തോ
അഫ്രാസ് വേറെ സൂമിൽ കയറിയതാണ്.
മോനെ എനിക്ക് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് സൗണ്ട് വളരെ കുറച്ചേ കേൾക്കുള്ളൂ. മോനെ ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്തിടോ. Who is Rehan?
ഞാൻ വേറെ ഫോണിൽ കയറിയതാണ്.
ക്ലാസ് മാറി കയറിയതാണോ?
ആ
ഓക്കെ റിഹാൻ, ഏത് ക്ലാസ്സിലെയാ മോനെ?
മിസ് ഞാൻ തന്നെയാണ്, അത് പേര് മാറ്റണം.
ഓക്കെ ഞാൻ ലീവ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് മിസ്റ്റർ ഫോട്ടോ എടുക്കാനല്ലേ?
മിസ് ഇങ്ങനെ തന്നെയാണ് അത് പറയാ. F1 congruent to F2.
F2
മിസ് ഇത് ഇങ്ങനെ തന്നെയാണ്
ഒന്ന് ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്തിടാമോ? ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ മെസ്സേജ് ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്തിടാമോ? അഫ്രാസ് പേര് മാറി കയറിയതാണോ? Okay, so we have learned congruence of plane figures, and after that we are going to learn congruence among line segments. We have seen the congruence of plane figures, and now we are considering two line segments. What is the difference between lines and line segments? What is the difference between lines and line segment? Here we have two lines. We can just name it as line segment AB and it is CD. We have two line segments AB and CD here, and other two line segments PQ and RS. It is PQ and RS. Can you say they are identical? Is AB and CD are identical? If yes, you can show me your thumb. Okay. Why did you say it is identical? Why did you say it is identical? Since it having same length, isn't it? Since it having same length, we can say that AB and CD are identical, and hence we can say that it is congruent. And what about PQ and RS? Is it is congruent or not? Is it is congruent or not? No, because it is having different length. That's why it is not congruent. And you can see in your textbook page number 134, there is a box given for you. If two line segments have the same length, they are congruent. Also, if two line segments are congruent, they have the same length. This is the congruence in the case of line segments. Okay, did you get the idea? Okay, then shall we move to congruence of angles? Okay, we have learned congruence of planes, congruence of lines, and so on. Then can you say what should be the property according to congruence of angles? What should be it? Two angles having same measure, isn't it? Two angles are said to be congruent if they have same measure of angle. Okay, and you just look at your textbook page number 135. You can see there is a figure 7.5 having four different angles. Okay, that is angle ABC, angle PQR, angle LMN, and angle XYZ. And you just look at there. The first two figures are having measure 40 degree. Can you say they are identical or congruent? Can you say they are congruent? Consider angle ABC and PQR, that is figures 1 and 2. Can you say they are congruent? If it is congruent, you can show me your thumb. If it is congruent or not. Both the angles ABC and PQR are of measure 40 degree. Since they have the same measure of angle, we can say that they are congruent. Okay. Then consider the angles ABC and LMN. What is the measure of angle ABC? It is 40 degree. And what about LMN? What is the measure of angle LMN? It is 30 degree. And is it the same? One is 40 degree and the other is 30 degree. That's why we can say that it is not congruent. They are not congruent. And similarly, what about angle PQR and angle LMN? If they are congruent or not? PQR and LMN. You just look at the figure. The angle PQR having measure 40 degree, but angle LMN having a measure 30 degree only. That's why they are not congruent. And what about angle PQR and XYZ? PQR and XYZ. Yes, they are congruent since they have the same measure of angle. And what about LMN and XYZ? LMN and XYZ, they are not congruent since LMN containing or LMN have the measure 30 degree, but XYZ having the measure 40 degree. That's why they are not congruent. And now you just look at the textbook. We can say that angle ABC is congruent to angle PQR. They are congruent. We can use the congruent symbol there. So instead of using the congruent symbol, you can use the measure of angle ABC is equal to measure of angle PQR, isn't it? The measure of angle ABC and the measure of angle PQR are same. Hence, we can say that measure of angle ABC equal to measure of angle PQR. Instead of saying angle ABC is congruent to angle PQR. Okay. Okay, this is the congruence of in the case of angles. And then we have discussed about congruence of triangles. What are the properties of a triangle? How many sides a triangle have? 3 sides. And what about angles? It also has 3 angles. So the triangle having 3 sides and 3 angles. So for saying the congruence of triangles, we have to consider true triangles. You can see in your textbook page number 136, there are 2 triangles, that is ABC and PQR. We are considering 2 triangles. Okay. And you just look at there. What are the properties of that triangle? Can you see identical sides for that angle? Is side AB is equal to side PQ? Is side AB is equal to side PQ? Why? You can measure the length using a scale. When you measure, you can see it should be equal. It should be of same side. That is, angle side AB is equal to side PQ. And what about side AC? Side AC is equal to side AC equal to side PR. Side AC equal to side PR. And what about side BC? Side BC equal to which side? Side BC equal to side QR. Isn't it? So we have get 3 pairs of equal sides or identical sides. And if two triangle having equal sides, then what about their angles? What about their angles? Their angles are also equal. That is, measure of angle A equal to measure of angle P, and measure of angle B equal to measure of angle Q, and measure of angle C equal to measure of angle R. So we get 3 pairs of identical sides and 3 pairs of identical angles in that triangle. And also we can say that vertex A and vertex P are identical or corresponding, and vertex B and vertex Q are corresponding. Similarly, vertex C and vertex R are corresponding. So we got corresponding vertices, corresponding sides, and corresponding angles. Isn't it? Did you get an idea? Okay. Then using this, we can say that that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. See, we have 3 identical or corresponding vertices A and B, vertices B and Q, vertices C and R. They are the corresponding vertices. And what about corresponding sides? AB equal to PQ, AC equal to PR, and BC equal to QR. And also corresponding angles means angle A equal to angle P, angle B equal to angle Q, and angle C equal to angle R. So we have got corresponding angles, corresponding sides, and corresponding vertices. That's why we can say that triangle ABC and triangle PQR are congruent. Okay. This is what we have discussed in this class, that is congruence of plane figures, congruence among line segments, and congruence of triangles. Congruence of plane figures means 2 plane figures which are identical to each other. When we place one over the other, it should be completely cover the second. That means it is congruent plane. And in the case of congruent lines, what we can say? We can say the line segments having same length are called congruent line segments. And in the case of angles, 2 angles having the same measure, it should be congruent angles. And what about triangles? If 2 triangles are congruent, we can say that there should be corresponding vertices, corresponding sides, and corresponding angles. Okay.